Liverpool Fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool Fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki Man Si, and we are 1 point away from Premier League glory. But this video is not about our Premier League chances. This is a video about Angelo Stiller, 24 years old, German international, a metronome at the base of midfield. He has the potential to be a real world-class player and is heavily linked to Liverpool. So I want to give you my opinion about Angelo Stiller and why he is a quality player, but might not be quite right for what Arne Slot is trying to do at Liverpool. So I would put a lot of question marks in regards to how serious we are about signing Angelo Stiller. Now, if this was a Jurgen Klopp team, he would be absolutely perfect, right? Him and Wataru Endo rotating in the base. And it's interesting to note that Angelo Stiller replaced Wataru Endo as Stuttgart's number 6 primary defensive midfielder, sliding laterally, winning the ball, getting them up the pitch as well. He is the big boss man in the middle of the Stuttgart midfield, and he can be bossing the Germany team for years to come. In fact, if you were to ask me a comparison of who Angelo Stiller plays like, he is almost like a Toni Kroos, which is why Real Madrid are looking at him as well. Maybe less offensive minded, maybe less instinctual in terms of vision and creativity, but he does get a lot of assists as well. And Toni Kroos mixed with a Joshua Kimmich, right? He has that readability of the game, that game awareness, although he's not as snappy as Wataru Endo, he's not as physical as Wataru Endo, he's not as dominant in the air as Wataru Endo. And we will get into comparisons as well, because it'll be interesting noting how Arne Slot utilised Wataru Endo this season as to Angelo Stiller's role in a prospective team and the cost associated with him. So we will go through everything of Angelo Stiller, why he may or may not be a target for Liverpool right now, but could be in coming seasons as well as his potential playing time and the positions and how he affects Liverpool tactically. So you won't want to miss this complete video end to end. But I'm going to show you why it may be too good to be true and really look at the tactical analysis as to why he may not be the perfect fit. So let's get into it. But just before we do, I note that we've gone from 69% subscribed watchers down to 66%. Now, you may think that's a bad thing, but that's actually because we're gaining a lot of new viewers in the last few videos. Welcome aboard. This is a channel with substance in abundance.
The cream of the crop!
And now is your time to smash that subscribe button, because we got lots of goodies coming up, including a Hugo Ekitike striking video comparison that I'm going to upload to the member section first, because this Angelo Stiller video is coming out now. So for all you members out there, thank you, domo arigatou gozaimasu, for subscribing and supporting me, Liverpool Fan in Japan. And you get the pleasure of watching that video first, and I will release that in the coming days too. I'll also be live streaming the big match over at Big Up. I'll do the pre-match preview on YouTube, then we'll go to Big Up to do the full match watch along with the Japanese commentary as well. And I'll be giving away a Liverpool or Japan shirt live on Big Up. Join me for the live watch along, Liverpool versus Tottenham at Anfield, where we can hopefully crown our Premier League win. All you got to do is join the Big Up stream, and at the point in time when I say, hey, drop a comment in the chat with your predictions for the first goal scorer. Everyone who puts a prediction in that chat will be in the draw, in the lucky wheel, to choose one of a Japan shirt or Liverpool shirts in the free giveaway. Join me on Big Up, 12:30 a.m. kickoff for me early Monday morning. So if you show the love, I will reciprocate. And that'll be a fun night as well, right? So let's get into it. So we know that Angelo Stiller plays at the base, right? He plays at the base of midfield. I name dropped him last season. In fact, a lot of creators, Liverpool Football, Alice, my good friend from Cambridge, likes to mention and name drop Angelo Stiller. We've had a name drop in Sky Sports and many of the other pundits as well in terms of transfer targets for this summer. But the problem with Angelo Stiller, he is very much defensively based, right? We know Arne Slot likes multifaceted midfielders. That's why Maka plays every single game. That's why Gravenberch is our starting 6. Now, the first conundrum I want to put to you, right, is Martin Zubimendi was the supposed 6 of our dreams last summer, came close to signing him, but in his absence, it gave Ryan Gravenberch the room to grow and win us the Premier League title. Why did we win the Premier League title? Because Gravenberch literally dominated this half space right here for the fact that he can turn his man, he can drive into this channel, he can act as the pseudo 10 inside forward positions, driving us up, taking the man on. In fact, he's probably the best dribbler in the midfield in our team as it stands, very much so right now. Maka can actually silkworm his way like a Diogo Jota through the midfield, slalom his way there, and he's an attacking threat with a shot as well. Angelo Stiller is not a ball carrier. Now, this is why I think we are no longer interested in Martin Zubimendi, even though he hasn't signed for anyone and he's intimated he may be finally ready to leave, right? Finally ready to leave Real Sociedad. Real Madrid are linked to him. You know, he might make a better acclimatization in Real Madrid. Arsenal are reportedly after him, been after him for a long time, but no concrete signing, sealed, signed, delivered there. Angelo Stiller cannot carry the ball, and Martin Zubimendi cannot carry the ball. But saying that, progressive passing into the six, into the line of sight of Salah, in the long through ball inside the defender for the left wing to get in and around, whether it's Cody Gakpo, Lucho Diaz, Anthony Gordon, Embuemo, or whoever, although Embuemo plays from the right side, more like a Semenyo. Angelo Stiller is a super productive player at the base. Very, very progressive passing. Can go that way, can go that way, can go through the lines, can go through the lines, can go over the top, can go out into the wing. He's left-footed, which gives us natural balance around the outside, curved ball into Salah, arcing around the outside, although penetrating into Salah in half space is more likely. I use this button all the time. Thank you, Mike, for helping me do the clear itchy band button. Angelo Stiller would help us get from back to front very, very easily. But there's a few issues with Angelo Stiller, right? Now, he is defensively minded. He has a great lateral sliding tackle. If you see all of the highlight reels, he can slide and take the ball, slide and take the ball, slide and take the ball. He's really good in that. He's not the most robust in a 50-50 shoulder charge, hustle and bustle. So if the ball is lofted by the opposition, launched into our sixth position, right? Endo Sama will clear the ball for days. Ryan Gravenberch is huge. He's a physical specimen. He's quite tall. He's not the most dominant in the air, but he has enough presence, like a Fabinho, but Fabinho is better in that regard, the lighthouse, to clear the ball for days. Angelo Stiller could get bombarded. He really, really could get bombarded in that central area. He's 183 centimeters tall. He's okay in the air, but he's not dominant in the air. Additionally, he doesn't give you the halfback option in terms of dropping into the line, into the back line. Now, he can play make from there as an extra man, and with Trent Alexander-Arnold a long ball. In fact, his long ball is pretty effective, right? Not Xabi Alonso-esque, but decent to say the least. I'd say it's his penetrating short balls, the same that Wataru Endo does, but more with the left foot, that helps us get up the pitch, right? So more like a Zubimendi light. But I would still think Zubimendi is probably better than Angelo Stiller. Angelo Stiller still got a way to go. Zubimendi are obviously European champion, came on for Rodri in the final and done England in completely like a keeper. Angelo Stiller is not as dynamic as, let's say, a Mikel Merino, right? And that's the thing I think Arne Slot will go for. A more dynamic midfielder who can connect the 6, the 8, and the 10 positions and all action all over, right? Like a João Gomez at a Wolves. Even Douglas Luiz can do that role. He didn't have the best of seasons at Juventus. Obviously, Carlos Baleba would be absolutely ideal, but Brighton will play hard to play. Maka can play all 3 positions. Gravenberch can play all 3 positions. Angelo Stiller is primarily a 6. And in the 8 role, I don't think he's fancied there. He hasn't got that acceleration. He's okay in terms of pace. He's not lightning quick. He hasn't got the best physique. He hasn't got the best athleticism. He's a technical player. He's a technical player like a Joshua Kimmich, right? And is that the right profile that Arne Slot would go for? And judging by how he's utilised Wataru Endo this season, Angelo Stiller is not the one to bring the ball laterally to invite the press and then beat the man. He'll beat the man with intelligent passing, but he's more of a metronome passer. And we've moved on from our interest in Zubimendi. So it's very interesting if we do go for Angelo Stiller, especially because depending on where you read, he's got a 36.5 million euro release clause for next summer, for 2026, for summer 2026 World Cup year, or 40 million euro release clause, depending on where you read. And it's more likely Liverpool would target him at that stage of his career, right? An extra year, still relatively young. Is it going to be 25? I think it's going to be 25 thereabouts. Yeah, 25 years old. So releasing him at this point, you're probably looking at 55, 60 million euros, which is quite a fair chunk for a player that's not even guaranteed to start, because there's no doubt in my mind that Gravenberch is the starting 6. And to sign a specialist 6 player, because he's not going to be so effective in 10, roaming from deep, transitioning into the area, he may be effective. But when you come up against a Premier League low block who are physical with huge athleticism, he won't have time to stimmy up the pitch and wander and saunter there. He will be marked, right? So he's going to rely on his press-resistant ability, ball-playing ability, first-touch ability, vision, and intelligent running to mark the lanes. So in that regard, I do think we go for a multifaceted midfielder in place of an Angelo Stiller. But if Angelo Stiller does come, then there's huge question marks on Wataru Endo's future. He would sit in the base, more likely on this side to offer us balance with a natural left foot. But do you need that natural left foot here on the base, considering that if we get a Milos Kerkez, who's a really well-rounded footballer as well, he will more often than not sit in that line with Gravenberch and Maka, one going forward alternatively. And Kerkez plays from the base here until he saunters and goes around the outside. So the balance isn't quite there for me with Stiller, unless you're really pushing Gravenberch into the more progressive 8 role. But he's made a name for himself in the 6 role, even as a halfback, even defensively in the line, covering for Trent and in the right back position, or going behind Van Dijk, allowing Van Dijk to step up as the sweeper. Sorry, not the sweeper, the libero, with the sweeper Konate behind him, almost in that line. So, Angelo Stiller, he's a little bit out of place. So unless the tactics are tweaked to allow Angelo Stiller to sit and be the predominant quarterback, predominant ball player, because in real world effect, his ball playing is probably better between the lines than Gravenberch. Gravenberch is a better traveller with the ball, but Angelo Stiller is probably a more refined ball passer. But is he a more refined ball passer than Maka in the base? And I don't think he is. Maka can bring the ball out. He's tough. He's rugged. He's Premier League proven. He's got great long ball, great short ball, great tenacity. He can join in. He's more likely to join in the middle third, battle away, and work his way into that arc where he'll be super effective. A nice smile there for a Maka, Brazilian, Argentinian ginger nuts. Sorry, not Brazilian. That's Fabinho, the Hoover. So I don't know. He doesn't really. At 55 million for a backup alternative 6 who changes the system and can't really roam into the 8 or 10 position effectively, at least it's yet to be seen in his career so far, I don't see it, especially when Endo can do the job he's doing, albeit Angelo Stiller is more of a progressive passer and natural left-footed balance, with his prime years yet to come, and Endo, obviously being in the latter part of his career, even though he's a young 30-31, because he hasn't played high tempo, high intensity for majority of his career. But as I said in the last video, Endo sits more in the base, right, in the halfback position, and is more likely to be a starting centre back than a starting defensive midfielder. He'll be a utility defensive midfielder covering the lines and seeing the game out. So 55 million for the same function Endo provides, albeit less feisty, less critical, less turnovers of the ball, at high intensity and higher speed, with Endo operating with his head, with his noggin, with the gum shield, clearing out all the danger. He doesn't offer the same defensive aerial shield that Gravenberch and Endo does. So I'd be very, very surprised for us to go for Angelo Stiller in this transfer window. But if we think he is going to be a dominant ball player, the likes of, let's say, a Tonali, who gets on the ball, runs and runs and runs, but plays it effectively. Joe Linton, right, who, just works his way around the field, bossing it around, getting the ball, playing it on, getting the ball, playing it on, right? Bruno Guimaraes, adding the balance as a multifaceted midfielder from the deeper positions, then he has a space there. But for 50 million, 55 million, 60 million euros, I don't think you afford a backup 6, because he's not going to start ahead of Gravenberch, and he's not going to start ahead of McAllister, and he's not in number 10 either. So there is the question marks around Angelo Stiller. Saying that though, I don't know, just look at his picture. He looks like he'd be called Max. He really sounds like he should be called Max, but Angelo Stiller it is. And Bayern Munich will be heavily interested in bringing him back. He's a German-type midfield player, probably the natural replacement for Joshua Kimmich, probably the natural replacement for Toni Kroos as well, where he can afford to sit back and dictate from deep without being multifaceted. Because operating in a two-man midfield, as you've seen with the 4-2-4 press, he's not going to be part of 4 pressing. And in the 2 as well, Maka and Gravenberch are definitely ahead of him. Will he be satisfied being a backup player? I'm not convinced. But it offers very natural balance with the left foot on both sides with Kerkez, with Angelo Stiller, and inside forward that offers really, really good attacking intent and options. He's a set piece player as well, so that is a string to his bow as well. But in terms of defensive composition and shape, he doesn't give that defensive shield aerially. He's not the best in physicality and 50-50 duels. His athleticism isn't the best. He can't carry the ball laterally, but he's a supreme ball player, great reading of the game, very intelligent player, a natural leader, very technically able, good pass, okay shot, not great shot, naturally left-footed, can assist. He will get a lot of assists from deep positions, right? Almost Thiago Alcantara-esque, he can grow from deep positions to getting those either assists before the assists or the actual assist itself. So interesting profile. I just don't think it's right now, because if you're playing from a Premier League position of dominance, I think you go for a well-rounded, versatile midfielder, of which Carlos Baleba would be the absolute mecca, the number one, the man. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you still go for Angelo Stiller, all things considered? Would you go for a more well-rounded midfielder? Would you attribute that amount of money to a different position? Let's say a starting striker, or left winger, or right wing backup, or even a right back backup if Trent leaves. Where would you apportion the money? Make sure to smash a like on this video. Really helps the channel get seen. All your interaction is super appreciated. Thank you so much. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Today is Friday, fun day, last day of the week before we march on to the weekend, where we hopefully seal the Premier League. Yatta yosha ichiban azasan. That means it's just celebrations, really. It's a bunch of malarkey. Come on, win the Premier League first. I'm going to smash Ange Ball and Tottenham with the high line. Get in there, my son. do it for the shiny one. Up the shiny one. Have a great day, everyone. Join me in the live stream, please, on YouTube for the pre-match preview, followed by big up for the full match watch along with the Miyazaki Man Si. I'll be giving away one Liverpool shirt or one Japanese shirt, depending on which one you want. You can choose, baby. And yeah, let's celebrate in style with profile as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Much love. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Miyazaki Man in Japan. He means the best right now. じゃあね。